How are you guys doing? I decided to go live. I know President T is still speaking, but I believe he's going to be ending his speech to the Assembly of Congress very, very soon. Two things that I want to share. The first thing is that some people thought that he was going to be disclosing something big. It wasn't big, but it was very general. He did talk about some of the findings and the corruption of the fraud that Doge discovered, even giving what 88 million to turn rats into transvestites. I mean, that was pretty crazy, right? He did talk about draining the swamp. He did talk about um, charging tariffs to other countries and bringing all of that money back to the American citizens. So apparently he's keeping it very general. I guess the White Hats are probably just going to wait to implement EBS to really give us the in-depth information and revelations. And so I want to talk about another thing. As you guys know, President Zelensky went crying over to the European leaders, right? And they're trying so hard to start World War III, but the alliance will not allow that. Okay, so apparently I don't want to wait till he ends. Hopefully he's ending right now. I mean, it's almost 8 o'clock Pacific time. 10. What is it? 11 o'clock in New York. So I don't want to go live too late. Whoever is on here, cool. Whoever can't make it, watch it on the replay. But I do want to thank everyone for being here. For those that don't know me, my name is Ishmael Perez. I am the author of those amazing books back there, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, and of course, Our Cosmic Origin. All right, so all right, so let's get right to it. There's a lot of information that I want to share with you guys today, and here it is. So apparently, the globalist elites are in panic mode, right? With Trump back in power, they're carefully constructing war in Ukraine. Their carefully constructed war in Ukraine is collapsing, and their entire agenda is at risk of being dismantled. So they spent years engineering this conflict, right, using Brandon's puppet regime, the UK intelligence, and the European Union warhawks to push the world towards total destruction. But now, thanks to Mr. T, he's cutting the war funding. He's forcing peace, right? They are desperate. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is the European Union wants to send more troops over into the Ukraine, right? Forcing Russia into an all-out war and ensuring that there is no way back. This is what they want to push, but it's not going to happen. Not under our watch. And what I mean by our watch, I mean by the watch of the Alliance and, of course, the Galactic Alliance as well. So the war in Ukraine was never about Ukraine. It was about. It was always about triggering the next global catastrophe, one that would obliterate national sovereignty, collapse economies, and allow the globalist elite to impose their great reset without resistance. It's all been a setup, as you guys know. But, um, before the 2024 election, the Brandon administration, in full conclusion with UK intelligence and European Union warlords, designed a war strategy that would make it impossible for Mr. T to pull out of Ukraine. Okay, they knew that Mr. T would never support a war built on corruption, money laundering, and blatant globalist control. So they took steps to trap the US in permanent escalation. So they approved a long-range missile. We're talking about the European Union here in NATO, right? The globalist. So they approved a long-range missile strikes deep into Russia using US-controlled weapons that require NATO intelligence to function. That meant every missile launched was a NATO operation, whether they admitted it or not. So they staged a major provocation, the attack on Kursk, which was meant to force Russia into a full-scale counterattack. The mainstream media immediately mocked Putin, claiming his red lines were meaningless in an attempt to pressure him into escalating. They pushed the lie that Russia is either too weak or too strong. 1 minute, they claim Russia's army is collapsing. The next, they say Russia is on the verge of taking all over Europe. Which one is it, right? Well, they don't care about logic. They care about controlling the narrative. But Trump's return is apparently changing everything. Okay, so the globalists, the fact that he won is the globalists' biggest nightmare reality as I speak. Trump is not playing their game anymore, right? He has already began cutting off NATO's endless war fund, right? Without the U.S. bankrolling it, the war collapses overnight, pressuring Zelensky to hold real elections. If Ukraine is forced to hold elections, Zelensky loses, and peace talks begin immediately. So refusing to be dragged into a European war is something that the White Hats are pushing. Unlike, of course, Brandon, Trump won't sacrifice American soldiers for the deep state's plan. That is why the elite are trying to do everything in their power to initiate World War III, but it's not going to happen. If they don't escalate before Trump fully dismantles their war machine, they lose everything, okay? So, the European Union is apparently already preparing troops for deployment, not in defense, but as an act of war. France is pushing for direct military intervention. Macron, a WEF puppet, has already floated the idea of sending French soldiers into Ukraine. Poland is mobilizing forces near the Ukrainian border. Poland has been one of the most aggressive NATO players, eager to be the first to engage Russia directly. The UK is fully on board. Britain, under new leadership, is marching in lockstep with the globalist war machine, preparing for escalation at all costs. Zelensky is not a leader. He is a controlled asset of the globalist elite, okay? He was promised by NATO, however, support from the beginning, a promise that was never real. Well, he was told that if Ukraine just held out long enough, that NATO's troops would come to save them. He was given false assurances by the UK, by France, and the European Union that direct NATO intervention was inevitable. He believed the lie and sacrificed his entire nation for it. Ukraine is finished. Are no more troops left. The draft is pulling in men from the streets with no training, no weapons, and no chance of survival. But Zelensky still refuses to negotiate peace because he knows his power depends on keeping the war going. Well, now we are at the final moment. If NATO's coalition of the willing enters Ukraine, there will be no way back. Russia will respond and the world will be plunged into the most devastating conflict in modern history. However, Trump will not allow that. Okay? He is the front of the alliance right now. So by cutting off the funding from NATO, he did that really fast. He can apparently prevent full-scale intervention. And he's doing that right now. He's cutting all the funding to NATO. If he also forces the European leaders to face public backlash, they may abandon their war plans. If he negotiates a peace deal with Russia, he can dismantle the war machine before it drags the world into hell. This is not just another conflict, Galactic Jedis. This is the deep state's final move to secure total control. They must escalate before Trump shuts them down. All right. So on March the 3rd, 2025, Zelensky was caught saying he didn't know that he had cut his deal with the UK. Okay. Do you think that Trump didn't know that Zelensky had already made a deal with the UK for mineral rights? Well, the secret deal went down in January and then in February. Trump puts Zelensky on the spot by saying that we'll take Ukraine's minerals as payback for all the money and weapons we've given them. That was a signal to Zelensky that Trump knew about the deal. Then Trump said that it's unfair that all of Europe is going to get paid back for their support, but Ukraine isn't going to pay America back at all, and Zelensky wants even more. Well, that was Trump sending a signal to the UK and Europe, and this is why Trump negotiated a peace deal with Putin and the MBS. A peace deal that did not include Zelensky or Europe. Coincidence? Well, think about it. We control the oil, right? We can make this easy or difficult. Trump is cutting off the taxpayers' money to Zelensky, and there will be no U.S. troops keeping Ukraine secure anymore. Europe gets paid. Europe gets to pay for it all and defend Ukraine without U.S. help. Let's see how long they can keep it up. Okay, something tells us that this is rapidly approaching the point where Trump declares we are pulling out of NATO and then pulling our troops out of Germany. The days of subsiding Europe are coming. Sorry, the days of subsidizing Europe are coming to an end. We are witnessing the UK, the European Union, and NATO about to be fully dismantled in real time. So apparently the world is on the edge of disaster because of what Europe is trying to do with trying to initiate World War III. And if NATO invades Ukraine, the war machine wins. But if Trump can actually stop them, the globalist plan collapses and the world takes the first real step towards freedom. And I really think that's what's going to be happening, which, again, I've been saying this for almost a year now, that Mr. T will be winning the Nobel Peace Prize. And ironically, I heard it on the news today that somebody said that the fact that he's trying to prevent the war or trying to stop the war between Ukraine and Europe, that should automatically give him a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, I've been saying that for almost a year, okay? And I finally heard it on the news that it was confirmed that it looks like Mr. T, as he pulls this off, because, again, the Galactics will not allow for this to happen. And, of course, the Earth Alliance will not allow for this to happen. I think it's very feasible that Mr. T will prevent the Third World War, and win a Nobel Peace Prize. So the war for global wealth has reached its climax. While the public remains unaware, an underground battle is raging between those fighting for our freedom and the collapsing cabal, whose desperation is now fully going to be exposed. The IMF, the Federal Reserve, and the elite banking institutions are scrambling to maintain control, launching their final, most sinister attempts to delay the inevitable, the quantum financial system. So this is the cabal's last stand. This is the cabal's last stand. Secret meetings and financial terrorism. Leaked intelligence from February 28, 2025 has confirmed that the IMF, the Fed insiders, and the European banking elites held a classified meeting to sabotage the global currency reset, the GCR, but to no avail, of course. Documents reveal a coordinated effort to manipulate Forex rates, freeze accounts, and block redemption centers, which is what their ultimate goal is. Well, to stall until they can secretly reintroduce their stolen trillions back into the system. On March 1st, 2025, an ECB whistleblower leaked memos, leaked memos detailing planned sabotage of redemption centers, proving their fear of losing control. High-level operatives have been ordered to create security threats to justify shutting them down before the public catches on. Meanwhile, military insiders have uncovered over 4 trillion in hidden gold reserves stashed in Switzerland, the Vatican, and Antarctica. These hoarded assets meant for the new financial system are being systematically seized through the classified military operations. The QFS is here, and the cabal is losing control. There is nothing they can do, okay? The quantum financial system will be fully operational, and it's sending shockwaves through the elites. Well, on March the 2nd, 2025, leaked Treasury documents confirmed that Federal Reserve officials attempted a cyber attack on QFS main servers as a desperate move, which failed attempts to destroy the system before it takes full effect. Well, unlike the old system, the QFS is incorruptible, all right? It is incorruptible. Every transaction is fully recorded and encrypted, preventing fraud, inflation, and fiat currency manipulation. The cabal can no longer steal the wealth, and they know that. That's why they're trying to shut down or destroy the QFS, but they can't, okay? Because the QFS is operating on a quantum level, And of course, the QFS is going to be connected with Starlink. So massive military raids, recovering gold, stolen gold is another thing that has been taking place, right? Elite military forces are actively seizing Cabal-controlled assets. As of February 27, 2025, a Swiss Alps military raid recovered a hidden gold reserve beneath an abandoned banking facility. This is just one of many ongoing global operations targeting illicit wealth stockpiles and so on and so forth. And now the Patriot Wealth Fund is no longer a rumor. Insiders have confirmed, or insiders confirm, that seized assets are already being distributed through the new financial system. The cabal is powerless to stop it, okay? In addition to that, guys, I don't know if you guys checked your XRP for those that have XRP, but it's been going back up. So XRP, RLUSD, and the fiat systems collapse. So with XRP and Ripple activating, right, part of the new USD node, the deep state is in full panic. These decentralized financial tools will destroy the fiat system once and for all. The cabal knows that. The cabal knows that if mass adoption happens, their entire structure is going to collapse, which is why they are desperately working to suppress them. Furthermore, on the 3rd of March 2025, QFS accounts activated worldwide. The banks supposedly, according to insiders, have already collapsed. Right, it's just a matter of time before they announce it on a open scale. Visa disappears and global wealth distribution begins. This was reported by apparently JFK Jr. Okay, so the financial takedown is happening now, guys. The quantum financial system is fully operational, and the deep state is in a blind panic. The corrupt banking empire is crumbling as military operations seize hidden wealth, rip apart laundering networks, and drag elite criminals to Gitmo. So some of the banks that are collapsing, that are targeting strikes, are the Deutsche Bank, the HSBC, and of course JP Morgan, Chase Manhattan Bank. Okay, also known as not Wells Fargo, Chase. Okay, they're all being gutted from within. Right, executives are being arrested in waves, and military tribunals are already handing out swift justice. The media blackout is absolute, but insiders confirm many have already been sentenced to death. Okay, so let's talk about Visa and MasterCard erased from existence. Right, this is part of the Gesera and Gesera debt forgiveness programs. So the deep state's financial shockhold is over. Their monopolies were built on fraud, hidden fees, and control, and now they're being systematically dismantled. New QFS debit cards are going to be rolling out, zeroing out fraud, zero fees, and zero manipulation. And then, of course, they were never about convenience. When you think about even PayPal and Stripe, right? They were about tracking you. Did you guys know that PayPal was all about tracking you and all your transactions, stealing from you and funding globalist operations? Well, now their collapse is imminent as the QFS wipes them from the playing field. So this is the fall of the fiat system. This is the fall of the Swiss bank, the IMF, and the Rothschild dynasty, right? As it's going to be replaced by the golden rainbow currency. It's just a matter of time now. So the alliance has shattered the petrodollar system and transitioned the world to gold-backed assets. Over 60 nations have already switched, and dozens more are rushing to convert. The rainbow currency is unhackable, incorruptible, and beyond deep state control. The quantum internet, the elite's worst nightmare. This isn't just an upgrade. It is a full system reset. The quantum internet ensures that every financial move is invisible to the deep state. Every QFS account is tied to biometric security with no fraud, no theft, and no way for them to control your wealth. So your QFA account already exists, by the way, everyone. Whether you know it or not, everyone that is a good person, right? You know, they know how to track good people down, right? They know who we are. We already have some sort of a QFS account, okay? The system has been running in stealth mode for years, apparently. So when the switch flips, right, we will all be notified through the quantum communication network, okay? This is the deep states, and this is something that the deep state cannot stop, okay? So when they shift from the old fiat system to the new QFS, we're all going to be notified through the quantum communication network, okay? We are going quantum, guys. We are going quantum. So for years, apparently bondholders were mocked, right? They held the keys to the wealth transfer, but the deep state is desperate to infiltrate redemption centers, trying to block the payouts. And that's probably the reason why it's been taking a little longer for us to get our invitation to go to the redemption centers. That's why military enforcement is in place, because traitors are being taken out on the spot, okay? So military operations as a final cleanup began in January 2025, 2 months ago. Covert raids hit major financial hubs: London, Zurich, Hong Kong. Deep state vaults were seized. Their stolen trillions funneled into the QFS, okay? Blackmail files, trafficking networks, drug pipelines. 80% of their funding is already gone. So what comes next? Well, in February 2025, the deep state is apparently fell from behind the scenes, right? Meaning that they lost access to all their assets, their power, their wealth, and their control. All of it is apparently vanishing, okay? Because they know that the QFS is inevitable and it is stronger more so than ever. So the storm is here, guys. The storm is here, and the world is about to change forever. The world is about to change forever. In addition to that, guys, in addition to that, the Trump administration proposes selling 443 federal properties, including Justice Department, and it starts with an F, three-letter agency headquarters. In addition to that, the Supreme Court will block Mexico from suing American gun makers over cartel violence. Also, President Trump vows to increase tariffs further if Canada retaliates. Okay, this is current information that you guys should be aware of. Also, Ontario Premier Doug Ford announced a ban on all U.S.-based companies from bidding on government contracts, and confirms the cancellation of the Starlink contract. Hi, Athena. Athena, I'm in the middle of a show here. Okay, so Attorney General Pam Bondi announces that national security information will be redacted from the Epstein files. Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum announced that Mexico will counter the United States by 25% tariffs with its own retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Hold on one second, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, so as I was saying, Attorney General Pam Bondi announces that national security information will be redacted from the Epstein files. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced that Mexico will counter the United States by charging 25% tariffs with its own retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. President Trump pledges to cut all federal funding for colleges schools, and universities that allow illegal protests while also vowing to deport foreign students and agitators involved in such demonstrations back to their home countries. Furthermore, Doge uncovers over 80 million in wasteful spending at the Department of Defense after a 1-week investigation. The Department of Justice also announced that Seth Rich's records, I believe he was done away with by the cabal, right, which was set to be released on March 10th, will not be made public. So the U.S. has halted all military aid to Ukraine. That's good news. Effective immediately. Top FBI official James Dennehy was forced out after criticizing Trump's efforts to target agents who investigated January 6th. And then, Attorney General Pam Bondi says that she was misled into believing she had all the files on the island investigation situation. So, I think the reason why not a lot of people are on the live today is because it's late. I normally don't go live at 7:45 p.m. This is rare, but I kind of wanted to go live after the speech, the assemblage to the Congress that Trump did, and I don't even know if he's still doing it. I think it's over. I have a feeling it's over. I don't know. Can you guys let me know in the chat if Trump is done with his speech or is he still talking? Let's see what the chat says. It's over. Okay, so he's done talking. Great. All right. So, all right, guys. I'm gonna just open it up for a quick Q&A since we're here. If you guys have any questions for me, just type them in capital letters and bypass the chat so that I could bypass the chat. You guys like my shirt? Thank you for the compliment. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I know. Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize for pretty much being a treasonist, right? For not doing much. But like I said, I am predicting, and I had been for a while, that Trump will be getting a Nobel Peace Prize for ending the war with Ukraine and Russia, and of course, ending the war everywhere else. Let's see. Hi everyone. I guess I should give some shout outs. I see Kimmy Kinseth in the house, Jill Hunt, Spiritual Ascension, Project Skyfalls, MJF, Pauline, Vicky Hayes, Eddie Avila, Dave DeCarli, Renee Lacoste, Cosmic Zeal, Baby Blue Notes, Brandy Michelle, Andromeda Daisy, Jill Hunt, Lee Archer, and one more person. Let's see who I pick here. And who else is in the house? Let's see. Subversive. Subversive is in the house. Subversive. All right. So if you guys have questions for me, go ahead and type your questions in capital letters so that way I could bypass the chat. Will the Jedis glow after the solar flash? This is a question from Jacob Sharir. Well, when we do activate our light body, we are going to have a light around us, a hue, our vibration, our aura. It's going to be amplified. Okay, so yes, we are going to be glowing, guys, just like the gods of old, just like the Watchers and the Anunnaki, right? According to ancient records, they were known as the Shining Ones. So we're going to be shining just like they were, right? We're going to be having a light, a strengthened aura around us. So yes, it's going to look like a halo. We're going to look like angels when we transform into our fifth dimensional avatars. Yes, that's true. Kenneth says, if we're moving into the fifth, are we going to need money? No, we don't need money. Let me just read what you said. If we're moving to the fifth dimension, you said that we don't need money. No, we're not going to need money. We're not going to be money. I don't understand why that it matters. If we get money, if we're ascending to the fifth, no. Like I said, in the fifth dimension, we're going to be our own. We're going to be using our inner software, our light body technology. We're going to be able to manifest things at the speed of light. Anything that we need. So no, we won't be needing any money. The QFS is just for the fourth dimensional Earth society, which is going to be a Star Trek type of existence. All right, they're going to have hover cars, they're going to have spacecraft, they're going to have free energy devices. So in the fifth dimension, no, we don't need an economy. In fact, there is no economy in the fifth dimension and above. Okay, the economies only exist in third dimensional worlds or in third dimensional levels of reality and in fourth dimensional levels of reality. Okay, guys? Good question, Kimmy. Good question. What if you already glow? Well, that means that you're keeping your vibration high and keep doing that. That's always a good thing. Replicators, please, says Jill Hunt. Well, they do exist, guys. They do exist. Spiritual Ascension says, Ishmael Perez, since you're transparent, tell us how you had access to the list before it's been released to the public. It's actually on record now. You guys could find the list yourself. Okay, so the list is out there. You just have to find it. Okay, it's circulating through the internet. All right, so you guys could find the list for yourself. And no, the list that I had doesn't even it's just covering like less than 10%. We're talking about 400 to 500 people that are really on the list. Okay, not just those few people that I mentioned 2 weeks ago. So the list is longer than that. It's just, and again, it's public documents. Okay, you could actually access it on your own. Somebody says I found the other list when I looked up at Gitmo. Looked up at Gitmo. Okay, okay, interesting. See, so the lists are out there. You just have to browse, go through your browser, and look them up, and you could access it yourself. Question by Rocco Vilgen: will the demigods return? Yes. Okay, put it this way: as it was during the days of Atlantis, so shall it be. So shall it be again during the age of Aquarius. So we're going to have regular humans in the fourth D. We're going to have superhumans and gods and demigods in the fifth D, right? And when they pop into the fourth D, they're going to appear as demigods, right? But in the fifth D, it's going to be all natural. So yeah, all of these different levels are going to be coexisting once again, as it was during the days of Atlantis. So the answer to that is yes. Ishmael, will we have babies in the fifth dimension? This is a question from Ada Franks. Yeah, of course. Birth exists all the way. I mean, extraterrestrial civilizations and intelligences give birth all the way up to the sixth dimension. After the sixth dimension, it's a little different, right? Because then you become part of a social memory complex. You become part of a collective. So it's a little different. But in the fifth dimension, yes, birth is given. It's just a little different than birth given in the 3D. Okay. It's a little easier, not as painful. And I believe that instead of having a 9-month gestation process, you only have like a 3-month gestation process. So your baby is born within 3 months in the fifth dimension. And it's not painful at all. All right. You don't even feel anything. So it's a lot easier to give birth in the fifth dimension. What's the name of the 13th month? Good question, Sandy Kuzma. Let me see if I get that download. The 13th month is known. Well, I think that it's based on the astrological chart. And what we do know is that the 12 constellations revolve around Ophiuchus. So I think the 13th month is known as Ophiuchus. Yes, Elizabeth Filipazzo says, will we reverse age or become ageless after the flash? The answer to that is yes, absolutely. Will we go back to age 35 in the 50? Yes, approximately. Okay, so in the 50, we are going to be regenerating back to looking about 30 or 35. That is correct. Hold on one second, guys. All right, I do want to welcome all 1,246 people that are in the house. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it's late, but you know what, guys? At least I'm here, giving a good report, giving you guys an update. It seems like every other day, new things are unfolding, or every day rather. What do we do with our job for? And oh, let me see if I can rewind that a little bit. The chat goes pretty fast sometimes. I'm trying to address as many questions as possible. All right, sorry. I guess I'll address another question. I can't go back. Ishmael, Gaia's frequency is rising. Would it be possible to have a frequency over 300,000 hertz? Yeah, of course it is. There's no limit. I mean, 300,000 hertz is probably a frequency that is vibrating somewhere within the 12th dimension and above. So yeah, it is possible. It's just you're going to become less dense and more light. Now, in preparation for the new Earth. So yes, it is believed that the frequency of the Earth, which has mostly been at about 7.8 hertz, is going to peak at sometime at somewhere between 12 hertz to 13 hertz before she transforms into the new Earth, or before we ascend into the new Earth. So it is believed that it's supposed to peak at around 13 hertz. That will mark the transitioning or the transformation of the 3D Earth into the 5th Earth, right? So that is correct. Yes, 13th month is Sol, 13th sign Ophiuchus. Thank you, Brian Smolin, for clarifying that. So yeah, I do believe that the 13th month is Sol, and that the 13th sign is Ophiuchus. Thank you so much for sharing that. Will Trump invite you to the White House someday? Says Anup Devang. I think you know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did have a dream. I did have a dream that I eventually end up meeting Trump and Melania, and that we were going to all be working together to establish first contact with the Galactic Alliance. So yes, I do believe that our paths are going to cross. Absolutely. Somebody's asking me if I believe in the galactic channelings. Well, I'm a galactic ambassador. I actually get galactic transmissions from the commanders. I don't channel, all right? That's something I don't do. I just get transmissions, right? But it's very important to have discernment, when it comes to channeling information from any entity. Just have discernment. Um, Hi, Ishmael. What is the actual date that the Mayan calendar ends? Thank you. To give you A specific is very impossible because we are operating under a wrong timekeeping system, and we have been for quite some time. But it is known that we've been about 14 years off. So the real 2012 is supposed to be sometime between 2024 and spring of 2025, or the ending of 2024 and the beginning of spring 2025, which means that sometime within the next month, we should be seeing some people call it, the transitioning into the new earth, right? End time prophecies. We're seeing it. The signs are here. It's everywhere, guys. So we are living in what the Bible and many holy books called the end times. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be the end of the world, okay? Because the world has never ended. It's going to be a transition into a new world. So it will be a transition into the new world. Will we go back to base 12 source code? Absolutely. Julia J is asking, yes, we will. That's our original divine blueprint. And also, for those that didn't know, we're going to eventually move beyond the fifth dimension, right? We're going to be ascending until we reach completion, which ends at the 12th dimension. That's where we came from. That's where we descended from, right? For those that read our cosmic origin, we've been part of a long cosmic descent or involution of spirit into matter. So we're heading back to where we came from. Absolutely. Yes, after the solar flash, we're all going to be recognizing each other. We're all going to know who we are. Absolutely. Ishmael, how many star seeds are among us? The first group of activators. This is a question from Linda Wang. I believe that there's millions, probably over 70 million star seeds, ranging from the age of 1 all the way to the age of, 94, 95. I think the first waivers came in the late 40s, early 50s. But yeah, there's over 70 million star seeds on the planet right now, just to be exact. Yes, everyone should be working on their telepathic skills. And you guys could also start working on your telekinesis skills, right? You guys could like practice with a sheet of paper, a little aluminum foil, and just start using your mind with your intention and super focus to move the object with your mind, with your hands, right? You could start practicing telekinesis, guys. It is possible. Yes, yes, yes. Ishmael Perez, do you know what the void is? Yeah, it is. The void is what we call infinite nothingness, okay? Infinite nothingness. And for those that have followed my work, that is where the archon entities developed, right? They developed in the void. So, yeah, the void is very real. It is absolutely emptiness. That's what the void is. Hold on one second. All right, where was I? Ishmael Press. Have you heard about the methylene blue D movement? No, I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's a blue liquid that is used for health properties. Methylene blue.
Oh, okay. So I've been told by my divine feminine, who is sitting in front of me, that is a blue liquid used for health properties, right?
Methylene blue.
Methylene blue. Okay. Well, I've learned something new today. What do you think about astral projection? Says Drew. You have to be very careful. You have to know what you're doing, but also bear in mind that everyone does it naturally at night. When your body sleeps, you're actually astral projecting. Did you guys know that? that when your body sleeps, you are very active in the astral? Any messages from spirit guides to us Jedis, Andromeda Daisy? Well, the only message I do have for you guys is to stay in your power, be in the present moment, enjoy life, find purpose in everything you guys do. Okay, that's
And
the
the
only
spirit
message.
guides say they love you, Galactic Jedi's.
And that the spirit guides, thank you, say that they love you, Galactic Jedis. They do love you. Okay, Athena, come. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Tell us about the Order of Melchizedek. That's a good question. Cosmic Zeal. Well, in short, it is the order of light of the everlasting glory of the one infinite creator and all the functionaries that work for the one infinite creator. It is practiced by all the councils of light. It is known by various names. It is the priesthood that was given to all of the alliance members, all of the high priest of ancient Atlantis, Lemuria, and high priestess and high priestess. I'm also including the females that were all working for the one infinite creator. They were the Anuhasi. They were the Maharishi, and then of course the Drew bloodline, the Davidic bloodline of King David. All members of the Order of Melchizedek. Okay, so that's what the Order of Melchizedek is. The great white brotherhood and sisterhood of humanity. The great white brotherhood is the Order of Melchizedek. Um, um, yes, eventually I will introduce you guys to my twin flame, but right now she chooses to just stay, to just not be in the camera. Okay, she just, so that's her choice. She has free will.
In the future.
She says in the future when she's ready, she'll show herself, but right now she's not ready. That's right. We are all one. We are all one. All right, I'm going to take a few more questions and then I'm going to exit. Let's see. My dog is here. My dog is here. Can't you guys hear? She's here. See, there she is. You guys were asking for her. There she is. The Schumann resonance is high and it feels like a rapture is coming. What do you feel? This is a question from Aaron H. It is a good possibility that, again, and, we are expecting what is known as solar maximum pretty soon. So, again, it's best to stay grounded and be in the presence, guys. It's best to stay grounded and be in the presence. I don't know what's going on in South Carolina.
The fires.
Oh, fires.
The
Yes,
fires.
yes, thank you. Let's take some moments at the end of the live in a few minutes to pray for the victims that are being affected by the fires in South Carolina. Thank you so much, Galactic Jedi, for bringing that up. Wow, this is a good question. Will we have the ability to breathe underwater? I'm not sure. But what I do know is that in the fifth dimension, you could actually modulate your body to live in different atmospheres. So you never know. You never know. Lee Star says, how did those fires start? Well, just like every other fire, probably through DEWs, directed energy weapons, and of course, drones. Leslie Kunlife says, Ishmael, I felt Elon's heart tonight. He was feeling upset. There was something off with Elon tonight. He wasn't his usual, when he does that and all that stuff. He was more like, just like, so I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like the fact that Trump mentioned Larry Ellison. But like I said, from behind the scenes, I think that these technocratic people are working together. BM, thank you so much for the super chat. If we have invested in gold a while ago, is it still okay to have that? Yes, gold will always be king, guys. Gold will always be king. You have mentioned at times it's disappeared. No, not gold. Never. And I don't even think I've ever mentioned that. I've always believed that gold was is king in all of this. No, I've never met any soulmates before. Jacob Campbell is asking. Not until I met my twin. I don't know. Some people believe that we have multiple soulmates. I don't know about that. I never really researched that. I just believe that, everyone's born with with some sort of a counterpart, right? Everything comes in pairs. Let's see. All right, in just a couple more minutes, we're going to do a little meditation for the victims of the fires in South Carolina. Amanda Tapori says soulmates could be anyone. Yes, silver is good. Silver is actually on an all-time high right now. So silver is actually really good to invest in right now. Let's see. Ishmael, what does the next couple of weeks look like to you? That's a very good question, Sasha Lee. You know, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the next couple of weeks look like, but I sure hope so that it's going to be that something huge is going to drop. I really hope that something huge is going to drop. So that's my expectation. We'll see what happens. What about med beds? Can't wait to get healed. Arcturus Porus is asking. I don't know when they're going to come out, but in the private sector, and I think in many hospitals, they're already introducing and training staff as to how to use them. So the first ones that are going to get access to those are going to be people with illnesses like the elderly and stuff. And then after that's going to be available to everyone else. But at this time, guys, let's take just a few minutes to kind of give gratitude. And I'm sorry, let's take a few minutes to pray and meditate for the victims of the fires in South Carolina. So if you guys could all join me in a meditation right now at this time. Let's take a few deep breaths to relax. Right, through the collective power of our I Am presence, we send love, healing energy to all of the victims that have been affected by the fires in South Carolina at this time. We bring you hope, alleviance, and healing energy to you at this time so that you may be healed emotionally and physically for the trauma that you had to experience. We also command the galactic forces to use their advanced technologies to bring the fires down or to eliminate the fires at this time. So we call upon the galactics for a special emergency intervention to put out the fires at this time. May the galactics put out the fires in Southern California at this time so that the people could be safe.
And telepathically radiate any messages and light you choose to add to this message.
And telepathically radiate any messages or light that you choose for this message.
To open the most positive timeline.
To open the most positive timeline so that we could all be united as one brotherhood and sisterhood of humanity. And while we're at it, let's also put our collective energy to end the war with Ukraine and Russia, to end the war in the Middle East, so that the Whiteheads could be triumphant.
Surround everyone in a white and golden light bubble.
As well as a purple and pink bubble. We also ask for all the angels at this time to be here with us in these final days as we are ready to transition into the new earth. For these are the end days of the old earth as we continue rising into the new earth.
May all of our thoughts and all of our combined energies bring about the highest, best good for mankind and bring all our minds into one mind. We surround this meditation with love. We call upon Father and Mother God, the Creator, Archangels, the angelic realms, Chief Angels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and all the seraphim, cherubim, and all the unseen angels and ascended masters, Jesus, Buddha, Mary Magdalene, Babaji, Krishna, and all the benevolent extraterrestrials that are in service to the one infinite Creator. The Andromedans, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Syrians, Venusians, Vegans, and Lyrans, the Universals, the Blue Avians, the Sphere Being Alliance, the Love Beings, the Purple Beings. Let the 144,000 light beings tap into them now. We ask Mother Gaia and all its people to receive the highest vibrational energies from the galactic central sun from source known as Melchior. Open all of our heart chakras, open our higher heart chakras, open our root chakras to these higher light vibrations coming in from the galactic central sun, and bring it in to bring us into the new 5D earth. Surround this 5D energy into the core of the earth. Now we all allow the higher vibrational energies to come in through, and please be sent out through all the portals out into the universe, and let these waves of white photonic light frequencies be sent out to all of our universe and into the atmosphere and launch it into the stratosphere. We ask that all higher light energies and data that are coming in now to be sent out all throughout our bodies down into the core of Mother Earth and turn us into our celestial selves.
All right. And we seal this in the name of the one infinite creator. So be it. May the God Force be with each and every single one of you guys. And we'll see you guys on another night. Have a beautiful evening.